What's up guys, it's the Russian Genius, and in this video I am gonna be showing you the most difficult move for Magic. This can be done with any deck, it's extremely difficult, and here is what it looks like. For this video, I am gonna be using this deck, and also I am gonna be using this deck. These two decks, they are different in quality. This right here is my favorite deck, but this one is a little bit softer and it's a little bit easier to do the move with a softer deck. You should be able to do this move with practically any deck you have. If you wanna buy any of these decks, then check out the link in the description, and also the shipping is quite cheap, and if you buy it from the link below, then you're also supporting this channel, which I appreciate. Anyways, I am gonna be showing you the move with this deck, and then we will move on into the tutorial. What the move allows you to do is to strip out the cards from the center of the deck one by one, somewhat like this, as you can see. I have mistakes on the bottom and on the top, but in the center most of the time it is perfect, as you can see. And if I spread out the cards, then you can see that they are stripped out one by one all the way near the bottom, I don't know, 6 to 8 cards, something like that. And there are a few options, a few tricks that you can do with this move. It is extremely difficult, but it's so exciting once you can do this. It's a little bit easier for me to do the move with this deck, because this deck is brand new. I just opened it, I think like a few days ago, and it should be a lot easier for me to do the move once my fingers get used to this deck. Once again, just like that, and there is the move. And when squaring up, you're trying to square up the cards together a little bit, but still enough so you can strip everything out like this. I will be talking about the squaring up motion a little bit more later, but as you can see, here we have the move like this, and even if I want to, I can take the deck, turn it around, and I can do a giant fan from that position. Alright, the camera is focused. I think it went out of focus for a moment. Another thing I want to say before I move on into the tutorial is this move is pretty interesting, because if you take like, I don't know, 10 cards, 20 cards or something, and you put them in, as you can see, I'm using a very few cards, not a lot. I'm using less than 10 cards. I'm going to put them in the center, and now you are in this triumph position. Let me spread out the cards. As you can see, they are right there in the middle, and if I do the Anti-Faro, give me 3 chances, alright? Maybe I will nail it on the first one, I don't know, but just like that, and I don't think, no, maybe. Let's try to do it once again, and hopefully this would have worked. Yeah, I think it did. It looks like it worked. So look, I'm gonna strip it out, And now, when I spread it out, the move has been done. And actually, the ace of hearts, it was in the wrong location if you play it back, so I readjusted it. I actually squared up the deck, so let me try doing it, you know, once again to strip it out. The point of this move is you do it, and then you have the option to take it like this, and you're able to strip the cards, unfaro them basically, and once again, as you can see, the cards are faroed away from the center of the deck, and what I can do is I can take these cards right here, which have the face-up cards, and I can take them and then boom, slap them on top, and then I can take this, and I can try to find the other bend where it ends. So this is the last face-up card. So what I can do if I want, I can simply do that. And now the deck is back in perfect, you know, face down position or face up position, whatever it is. There are two ways of doing this. The first way is to spring it from the thumb, and this deck is actually a little bit older, so it's a little bit more difficult for me to do it with these cards. The second way of doing the move is to spring it from the fingertips. And, you know, in my opinion, you can experiment with both. I can kinda do it from the fingertips, and that is how originally it is done. The move is created by Christian Engblom. I wanna give credits to him. The reason that he springs it from the, you know, fingers is because that is how he springs cards. A lot of people that want to learn this move, they usually do it from the fingers, and in my opinion, that is the wrong way of doing this. The only reason the creator springs the cards from the fingers is because that is actually how he springs the cards. If you know how to spring the deck correctly, which is from the thumb, then this move will be a lot easier to do for you from the thumb. And the reason for that is because, you know, your thumb is a big muscle, right thumb. You have already practiced the spring with the thumb, so you have kinda control over this sexy bastard. So I recommend springing the cards off the thumb if you know how to spring the cards off the thumb. If you don't know how to spring the cards off the thumb, but you always spring them off the fingertips, you know, like this, then try learning the move by springing the cards off the fingertips. I hope this makes sense. I just want to clear it up. I'm gonna be moving into the tutorial right now. I just want to show you how it looks like from the fingertips. From the fingertips, for some people it's a little bit easier, but for me, my thumb is a really good worked out muscle, so I always use my thumb. It has muscle memory and it knows speed, and speed is very important. Speed and pressure is the most important part of this move. You are gonna be holding the deck like this. What is happening is if I let go of these three fingers, as you can see, it is being held mainly by the thumb and the pinky. So take the deck, grab it, you know, like this, put your pinky on the corner and the thumb on the other corner, like that, and then put these fingers on top, like this, basically. And now the other hand is gonna kinda be laying flat. The hand is not gonna be flat, but it's gonna be a little bit, you know, upwards. And the reason for that is because how this move works is you are throwing doubles every single time you spring the cards, and that is how you're able to get this. What I mean by doubles is this. You're holding the hand not flat to the table, but it's gonna be a little bit upwards, you know, like that. And then you are springing doubles. So you're not springing one card at a time, but two cards. Here we have 2 cards right now. So what is happening is when you spring, it lands and it goes like that. And then when you take your other double, it goes like this and it lands like that. That is basically what is happening throughout the entire move, and it happens really, really fast. And then in the end, when you square up the deck, what you're doing is you're squaring up all the cards that landed close to each other, and then you're trying to pull them apart. So you are springing doubles, and if you spring triples, then it's once in every 3 cards. Let me try to do triples for fun. So right here, we should have a few triples, just a few, alright? I'm gonna remove, let's say this. I'm removing about 1/3, or actually, let me remove about 1/4 of the deck. This is gonna be a long tutorial, and if you don't like my long tutorials, then fuck you. And I seriously mean it, because I actually do spend time on this shit. If you take a look, we have 1 card, 2 cards, 1 card, 2 cards, 1 card, 2, but you get the idea. You can spring, you know, like 3 cards at a time, 4 cards at a time, or 2. When you spring 1 card at a time, you usually do it like that, and as you can see, there is being sprung 1 card at a time. But when doing this move, then it's all about speed and pressure, and with speed and pressure, you are gonna be able to spring 2 cards at a time. It's kinda like walking on a line. You have to balance your thumb in terms of speed, power, and strength, and the rhythm. You know, it's not like a rap beat, but the rhythm in terms of how it goes. It sounds pleasing to the ear the better it is. And you can even hear sometimes how the 2 cards at a time are being sprung. Anyways, let's get back into the tutorial. This whole video is a tutorial, but you need so much information for this move because it's so frustratingly difficult and odd and different. You're gonna get back into the same grip as before, and this grip in my hands is the same exact grip when I spring the cards. You get ready in this position, and the other hand is gonna be facing a little bit upwards. Now, this hand is gonna come close and it's gonna be kinda touching the bottom hand. Not only is the bottom hand gonna be pointing a little bit upwards, but it's also gonna be in the straddle grip. As you can see, my pinky is at the bottom and the index finger is on top, and that is really important so the cards, they don't fall down like that. I just want to quickly mention, first of all, this is actually a pretty good one. Let's see if I can strip it out cleanly enough. And stripping out the cards from each other is not the difficult part, but don't rush it up. Take your time when stripping it out. Bottom hand is gonna be in the straddle grip like this, and then it's gonna be slightly tilted upwards. The reason your hand is tilted a little bit upwards is because when the card falls, because your hand is tilted, it's gonna fall down like this and land at the end of your pinky. So that is really important, and I just wanted to make sure that you guys know it, because a lot of explanations about the Anti-Faro, they are just really not good. So you get ready in position like this, and the bottom hand is gonna be in the placement we spoke about. And now, as you can see, the deck is gonna be kinda... Wait, let me see how I do it. Okay, I do it like that. So the hand is gonna be, you know, near the top, near the index and middle finger. You put pressure with the thumb, more pressure than you think, and the speed needs to be consistent. Don't hurry up or slow down. You need to do this with a consistent speed. And the thing about this move is when you start in the beginning, your pressure needs to be the maximum maximum pressure for this move, and when you get to the last few cards, your pressure needs to kinda slow down, like a little bit exponentially, I would say. And the pressure of the thumb needs to be controlled. The speed needs to be, you know, the same from beginning to the finish, and the pressure of the thumb, you need to experiment with that. Because look, if I spring the cards, right, I am springing the cards one by one, but if I put a lot more pressure, I start to spring more than one card at a time, a little bit sometimes, at least if you film it and put it in slow motion. So if I put a lot of pressure, I am actually springing more than one card at a time, and matter of fact, even from the spring, I can take off the cards, and as you can see, I still have a Anti-Faro that I created simply from springing the cards. So super important to remember that pressure for this move with the thumb is key, and the tempo is the key. If you consistently practice the move and you try adjusting the pressure of your thumb, and what I mean by the pressure of the thumb to the people that may not understand, I mean how hard you grab the deck and squeeze it. The harder you squeeze the deck, the more cards are going to fly out at the same time. When more cards fly off the finger, you can, if the speed is correct, and the pressure is correct, you will get two cards flying at the same time. And that is the basics of the move. Few weeks later, after watching this video, you can try having a different pressure in the beginning and then slowly decreasing it, because the more cards you spring off the hand, the less pressure you actually need. That is logic, because the deck becomes, thinner because of the fewer cards you have. And also what I want to say, first of all, look at this. It looks pretty decently good. Let me actually see if I spread out the deck. Yeah, it looks good. As you can see, like, the bottom cards are not interlaced and the top cards are also not interlaced. Also, what I want to say, and this is really important to note, when doing the move, the deck is really close to touching the hand. It is literally, like, so close from touching the hand. Look how close the deck is from touching the hand. Can you see that? It's not touching the hand, but it is super close. And matter of fact, let me just zoom in so you can see. Look at this sexy big black deck. Yes. But look, you do this and it's almost touching the hand. My thumb is touching the hand, but the deck is not touching the hand. And when I do the move, I lift my thumb slightly up. So, just like this, and then I do the move. But my hand or my deck is never really touching. Wait, zoom out. Vroom. My hand is... Ooh, look at this beauty. Look at that. I can, square it up and then strip. Yes. Just like that. We need strippers in this house. Whoop! Just kidding. Let me just do the pass. Just like that, and boom. Let's talk about how do you square up the deck. Once you can do the move, a few days, a few weeks, a few months later, this move took me, I think, like a day or two to learn. It took me about 2 days to learn this move, and then about 2 weeks to be able to do more than half the deck on average. But when you want to square up the cards, as you can see, we have this hill. It goes up and then it kind of goes down. What you want to do, let me actually focus and zoom in on this cool looking stuff. What you're gonna do is, when squaring up the deck, here's the idea, right? Basically, you are squaring it up And the idea is that you still want to have control over the cards. As you can see, this little bastard right over there, there is this card is really close to the ending of the deck. So you need to be careful about cards like this because it's really close. It looks like it's 3 millimeters away. For you American people, I don't know. But you know, so the idea is you square it up, but you don't square it up too much. You square it up enough so you can pick it apart without getting, you know, extra cards with it. So like that. If this makes sense, I really don't know how to explain this the perfect way, but let me try doing the squaring motion once again. First of all, let's, you know, do this. And then when I'm gonna square it up, I align it first of all, and I try to align it so it's not, you know, squared up with the cards that are not going one by one. If that makes, it should make sense to a point. You know what I'm trying to say. And then when you square it up, you touch it, you pick it, and with the other finger right there, and you're gonna pick it like this. Don't pull the cards like that. Pull it like this and then away from each other. That is a much easier way of doing it. Anyways, let's zoom out. Woman, just like that. You want to see the Jack of Diamonds do a backflip. It looks like this. You take it and you flip it just like that, and it actually changes into the Queen. Hey, that's a pretty cool, really difficult move to do. Oh, I think I just did it again. Man, I am so happy I did that so good. This is almost the most difficult move I know of. I might do a tutorial on that, or actually I think I will. But thank you guys for watching. The main tips I wanna give on this move is actually focus on the speed and the pressure. The more pressure you put with the thumb, the more cards you're going to shoot out at the same time, and you are shooting for doubles, so doubles is the most important thing. When you start with the deck, it's gonna be more stiff than when you end with the deck, simply because there's less cards. Look at that sexy Ace of Hearts. But you start off with a lot of pressure, more than you may expect, and then you finish off with less pressure because you have less cards, but still you need to be able to spring 2 cards at a time, even though you need to have less pressure at the end than in the beginning. That should make sense. It's a weird move, it's a simple move, but it's difficult to explain. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I hope that you enjoy this. You know, I enjoy practicing on a lot of different moves, so thank you for watching. If you haven't seen, check out my second channel. I post a lot of stuff there, and I'm gonna be posting music and a lot of different things. Click right there to check it out. Thank you for watching. I will show you a quick color change, and then I will see you guys in my next video. That looked like a cool production.